What's up, humans of the earth? I'm Broski, and today I'm going to try to beat the 3 newer specials without pressing left, starting with Newer Summer Sun. 1-1 was quite simple, but also a pivotal point in the run. My original plan was to try and get as many star coins as I could in these games, so that way if I tried to 100% them later in the video, then I would have less work to do. But the third star coin of 1-1 is impossible, as you cannot wall jump underwater and get the left momentum required to leave the area, which means I will no longer be going for star coins in this particular game. 1-2 took me a little while only because I was rusty, and you could say the same for 1-3. And 1-Tower is the hardest level yet because, unlike other levels, towers go up instead of to the right. This means that we're going to have to frequently utilize wall jumping and sliding in order to move to the left. And all was going pretty well until I got to this section, which requires a wall jump, then precisely tilting this platform, and then after that, you just have to do a few precise jumps. Eventually, I was getting pretty consistent with tilting the platform, which means all I had left to deal with were these precise jumps, which I eventually nailed and never had to deal with again. Then, after the checkpoint, I found another hard section, but I managed to get past it and get to the Larry boss fight. Oh, this better be worth it. This better be worth my time. You know, honestly, I don't know if it's worth my time. I don't know. I don't think it's worth my time. If I die here, you already know I'm just gonna make the video if I die. It's like, why even foreshadow this? You already know what's gonna happen. Geez, well, it sucks that I have to go through that super hard section again, but this time I didn't. Just out of curiosity, I thought I would see what's inside of this door, and that is quite the decision to make because it's actually impossible to wall jump here. But it ended up leading a star coin, which spat me out past that section so I could get to the boss door quicker. Larry proceeded to feel my wrath, and soon after, the same can be said for 1-4. Next up was the Goomba. I already know what you're thinking. It's a Goomba, literally weaker than a fly. I can kill the thing in my sleep. But come on, dude, we're just not making a big deal out of Goomba. If I jump ever so slightly too high there, it's done. Dunzo. Over. Toasted. In the toaster. Toaster is on, and Mario is getting... But I didn't, so it's okay. Then I took one quick glance at the world map and realized that 1-6 wasn't above a pit, so I thought it would be the easier choice. And I ended up beating it, but it was kind of difficult. 1-Castle itself is pretty easy, but just look at this insanely cool thing I did. I gotta keep talking, because I'm pretty sure it's a pretty long clip. I don't really know how long it is, but hopefully it's done now. Wow, World 2, oh my gosh, insert an inspirational quote here. 2-1 requires a world map left press, so 2-2 it is. I did this pretty sick move just to end a stage with the Yoshi. I thought there was more to the level to go, but then I saw the flagpole. I took a death in 2-3, but then I discovered a star here, which made the latter half of the stage significantly easier. And I literally saw the flagpole in 2-4, but I kind of made this oopsie, and I was stuck on the side of the wall. I never managed to get enough left momentum from that wall jump to make it back to the platform, but I had a different solution, going underneath the stage. That went great till I got about here. On the next go around, I ended up jumping on this blue fat kid to get some left momentum to get this fire flower. I just thought that was really cool, so I thought I would share. 2-5 was quite simple. 2-7 looks like absolute heck, but it's actually pretty easy to navigate. Then I ended up blasting to World 5 with a penguin suit. Speaking of, I decided to DM Brazilian penguin master Gudo about the third star coin back at 1-1. And while awaiting a response, I lost my penguin suit, but still managed to make it through 5-1. 5-2 is not that difficult of a level, but due to me being on that YouTube grind, I got up at 5 AM to record, and not the best at 5 AM, so I died like 3 separate times. And just like that, we already left my arguably favorite world in this game, which really sucks, but oh heck, literally. 8-1's meteors did cause some trouble, but I managed to get through it after a few attempts. And I know this is a challenge video, but I just gotta say, 8-2 is one of the best lava levels I have ever played. Probably partly because it gives you the propeller suit, which is pretty rare in this game, but this isn't the time to talk about that. Since 8-2 forces you to take the secret exit, we are now on to 8-7. And the issue here were the terrible hitboxes on these toxic clouds, or my lack of skill, depends on who you ask. However, due to a lopsided mixture of both of those things, I decided to go back to 1-4 to get a propeller suit. Now, I'm sure you were very attentively watching the fast forward footage frame by frame of that stage when I first did it. And I'm sure during that you noticed that there is no propeller suit in 1-4. Well, I present to you a little thing called game knowledge. The only issue is that what I just did is actually impossible. Since it's the first block of the level, you have to get a mushroom from it before you can get the propeller suit. Only issue is once you get the mushroom, you can't really get any left momentum to go back to get the propeller suit. My solution to this problem was cheating. Yeah, you heard me right. I just kind of got a shroom here, and then I got the propeller suit, and then I just kind of flew over the entire level. Unsurprisingly, that was pretty fun. But surprisingly, 8-7 was also pretty fun with the propeller. However, I would end up losing the propeller in the airship due to what I assume is a Russian missile. But other than that, the boss fight and the Vietnam flashbacks, the level was pretty simple. And surprisingly, the final castle was also pretty simple. Now, I wasn't going for all the star coins because I had given up at that point, but I made it to Bowser on my first try, and then I made it past the final escape section on my second try. If you're one of the people saying I should open up Discord and see if Gudo responded to my star coin fetch request, which is a good point, but I don't know if you can tell, but I'm kind of working on a video right now. Anyways, we'll get an answer to that question later because your attention equals my attention. Oh, look, newer falling leaf. This time, star coins would play a significant role. I managed to get the first one in 1-1, but the other two, although I knew the locations for before, I wasn't able to get on that attempt. 1-2 was about as difficult as I was expecting, and I managed to get the first star coin out of the way. 1-3 was quite difficult, but once I got my hands on an ice flower, I thought I would make up for my lack of star coin grabbing up to that point. I ended up getting the second star coin, and while doing that, I discovered that this area of this plant is climbable for whatever reason. After that comes Hollow's End, which about 30 seconds later I was sure was also the Run's End. This area requires 2 wall jumps, and we can't do that. We can only do 1. I had a feeling this jump was possible, but this giant boo made things very annoying, and eventually I ended up losing a lot of lives. But then I remembered that the pumpkins could be broken with Koopa shells, so I just thought I would look for Koopas on my way back to that area on my next attempt. Of course there's not. I was running low on lives and really didn't want to have to deal with the continue, so I decided to take what I thought at the time would be 4 mandatory world map left presses in order to buy a propeller from the shop. I had about as much money as your average American college student, but I still managed to purchase a propeller. But to make sure my money didn't go to waste, I wanted to make sure that I could get all 3 star coins on my first playthrough, so that I wouldn't have to spend another 3 star coins on another propeller. Anyway, I ended up getting soft locked while going for the second star coin, and I also missed the first star coin. But the issue was that I couldn't leave the stage because I hadn't beaten it yet. So my only option now was to reset my Wii. I know this is an unpopular decision, but for whatever reason, I was really adamant on getting this first try. Oh, also, if you're wondering, I saved before, so I didn't have to redo everything. 1-6 is our first para-scrolling level, and honestly, it was really fun without pressing left. Best part is that I managed to get all 3 star coins as well. And that brings us to the final level of the game. It was difficult, but honestly, not that bad. However, after you beat the game, you have to do your 5th mandatory world map left press. But little did past me know, I would actually accidentally end up reducing the number of mandatory world map left presses just by trying to 100% the game. Speaking of 100%ing the game, I still haven't played Crystal Swing Cave yet. I have to play every level to 100% the game, and it also has a secret exit. First star coin is quite easy despite having to make a massive jump to your left. The second coin requires that you speedrun, and I forget it every time. And the third coin and the level are also quite possible. However, since I missed the second star coin, I had to replay the level to get it. And to conserve lives, I wanted to go through the entire level instead of dying to go back to the start. But I ended up hitting the checkpoint, and so to remove my checkpoint, I decided to get all the star coins back at 1-1. And in doing so, I had just removed 3 world map left presses from the route. The reason for that is because, in theory, if you collect all the star coins in 1-1 first, and then go to the shop and get the propeller immediately, you don't have to do all those extra left presses from 1-4. However, the hype would be short-lived as we just ran into another major problem. I just got the second star coin, and I was looking up a walkthrough to see how to get the secret exit. The secret exit is to Mario's left, which isn't actually a big deal because you can slide off of these crystals to get up here. But the way this is designed requires you to bring a spring with you, and all of our methods to move left are not possible while holding an item. That does sound really bad, but I had a plan to get around this, spending more of my hard-earned money on a goofy-looking propeller hat. An interesting thing you'll notice in this footage is that I'm wall jumping to get up to the secret area and not ground pounding on the slope like before. The reason for this is because left momentum in a propeller is only preserved after wall jumps and not after ground pounds. But then when I made it up to the secret platform, I realized Mario was not being sucked up into the secret exit. My fear was that there was a left-facing pipe here, and if that were true, the run would be dead. So I decided to turn on the audio to the walkthrough to see if it made a pipe sound when they went through the secret exit. Let's listen. Oh, of course. Oh, you just heard it, man. That's it. So that concludes Newer Falling Leap. I was actually so angry that I stormed off in a fit of rage and forgot to play the final level of the game, which is just an area congratulating you and telling you that newer Super Mario Bros. DS is being worked on. And in fear of getting the amount of world map left presses wrong, I'm gonna count them in post. Wait, this is post. I'm gonna count them in post. So Google still hasn't given me a clear answer as to whether the star coin in Newer Summer Sun is possible or not. But that's okay, because we have Newer Holiday Special, and there seems to be a good chance that I'm going to be able to 100% this one. In 1-1 I got the first 2 star coins and knew I could get the third one with a propeller. I got the second coin at 1-2 and the first and third seemed very possible, but I pressed on because I technically couldn't replay levels until I had beaten the game. I made it past 1-3 and then I had to confront my second tower of this entire saga, and it was the hardest one yet. After getting the checkpoint, you need to hit this switch in order to get a star coin. However, the switch also unleashes the swamp, so you need to time everything perfectly or else you'll take a hit. The star coin itself is quite difficult, but certainly nothing impossible. However, the section immediately afterwards basically requires that you take a hit in order to get through it. And on top of that, it's a very difficult area to navigate. The issue is that upon starting from the checkpoint, you can only get one power-up, which means you have to flawless the star coin if you want to make it through the other section. This means that I would have to eventually give up on getting the star coin and save it for later. And the worst part is I did not find any power-ups near the boss door. I managed to beat Larry on my second try, and then I headed straight for 1-4, whose second and third star coin were impossible without a penguin suit. So when I went back to try to get them, I realized the level itself did not contain a penguin suit. It's not a big deal because there are penguin suits elsewhere in this game, but it's just a minor annoyance. The Goomba boss fight in this game was quite simple due to the arena being surrounded by slopes, and 1-6 made me seriously disappointed. The pipe to the first star coin is directly above the starting area, and after managing to get into it, I realized the entire obstacle to get the star coin was to my left. I was super disappointed, but I would later come back with an idea to try to get this star coin. And the insult to injury was the other 2 star coins in this level were some of the easiest yet. This led me to the castle, where I eventually ended up beating Larry. And this is probably the most annoyed I have been after beating a Mario game. But before I gave up on 100%ing fully, I got one last idea. Newer Holiday Special and Summer Sun actually start you out with 2 of every item in exchange for starting the game with 3 lives instead of 5. So I started the stage with a propeller suit and made my way back to the problematic star coin. But unfortunately, not even the propeller suit could get me the star coin. And even if it did go high enough, I would likely be too far to the right anyway. But before you go, there is a 4th newer special that I've been neglecting to tell you about. There's a game called Another Super Mario Bros. Wii listed that I have not talked about yet. I personally don't believe this game qualifies as a special because this game replaces every level in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and if you want to see me do a no left challenge run on it in the future, then let me know in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.